Today, you're connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi. This is Newsbreak for Thursday, January 12th. I'm Brad Block. Thanks for joining us. You can catch Newsbreak every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Watch it at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or the Daily Journal mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. Going to take a quick look now at news, sports, and weather. Let's start with the Weather Underground forecast for today. Overcast skies, a high of 71 degrees, low of 57, 20% chance of rain. The 3-day outlook, Friday, rain is likely heading into the weekend with a high of 68, low of 52, 70% chance of rain. Saturday, mostly cloudy, high of 69, low of 51, 10% chance of rain. Sunday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 70, low of 52, and just a 10% chance of rain. Let's take a look now at some of the top stories from the Daily Journal and djournal.com on this Thursday. Congressman Trent Kelly will serve on the Armed Services Committee during his next term in the U.S. House of Representatives. Kelly, who represents Mississippi's 1st Congressional District, brings military experience to his appointment. He served 30 years in the Mississippi National Guard and currently holds the rank of colonel. In 2005, he deployed to Iraq with the 155th Brigade as the operations officer of the 150th Engineer Battalion. From 2009 to 2010, Kelly deployed as a lieutenant colonel to Iraq as battalion commander of Task Force Knight of the 155th Brigade Combat Team. Kelly won a special election in June 2015 and then won re-election this past November. He had been vocal about his desire to be on the Armed Services Committee, which is one of 20 standing committees in the U.S. House. Now, standing committee is permanently established by the rules of the chamber. Kelly said that, quote, providing for the common defense of this nation is the most important duty we have as elected officials and citizens. State House Speaker Philip Gunn has put a campaign finance bill on the fast track. On Wednesday, legislation attempting to prevent political candidates from using campaign finance funds for personal use passed the House by a 102-13 vote. The bill, authored by Gunn, is similar to one killed during the 2016 legislative session. Now, this time, the bill was referred to the Rules Committee by Gunn instead of the expected Elections Commission, and it passed on the House floor later in the day. Gunn said he sent the bill to the Rules Committee because he wanted to be able to, quote, shepherd the legislation. Mississippi is one of a handful of states with no prohibition on converting campaign funds to personal use, as long as taxes are paid on the money if it's spent on personal expenses. Gunn's bill states that campaign fund expenditures should be, quote, related to gaining or holding public office or performing the functions and duties of public office. Now, under this legislation, the enforcement of issues related to the filing of campaign finance reports would be conducted by the Mississippi Ethics Commission. A candidate could face a misdemeanor charge and penalty of $1,000 for converting campaign funds to personal use, plus the candidate would be required to reimburse the cost associated with the personal use of the funds. Now, the Ethics Commission could also levy a fine of up to $5,000 and a misdemeanor charge for not filing campaign finance reports with the Secretary of State's office or local clerk's offices for local candidates. This bill now goes to the Senate. The Oxford Film Festival continues to grow, and this year's edition will welcome the new while honoring the old. 3 new categories have been opened for this year's festival, which begins February 15th. Those categories are new media, music documentary, and LGBTQ. The new media category offers a broad range of options from virtual reality to webisodes, and it invites the sort of interaction festival executive director Melanie Addington is seeking. Addington said the Oxford Film Festival is about more than just sitting in the dark and watching a movie. It's about being part of a community and celebrating the arts. Among this year's films will be a 20th anniversary screening of Kevin Smith's Chasing Amy, which will show at the Ford Center with star Joey Lauren Adams on hand, and the 2006 documentary Small Town Gay Bar, which was filmed in Shannon and Meridian, will have a 10th anniversary screening. Addington is still looking for volunteers. For information on how to become one or for a full schedule of events, visit oxfordfilmfest.com. And in sports, this might sound familiar. Mississippi State's football program has a new defensive coordinator. Todd Grantham has been hired away from Louisville to replace Peter Sermon as defensive chief. And according to multiple reports, Sermon has been selected as Grantham's replacement at Louisville. Grantham will be the 7th defensive coordinator hired by Dan Mullen, who just completed his 8th season as head coach. Sermon spent 1 year in the position when he was part of a defensive staff overhaul following the 2015 season. Grantham spent 3 seasons at Louisville, where his defense is ranked number 2 in the country behind Alabama in yards allowed per carry. He was also defensive coordinator at Georgia from 2010 to 13, and other college stops include Michigan State and Virginia Tech. He's also spent time in the NFL with the Colts, Texans, and Cowboys. Sermon's lone season in Starkville saw the Bulldogs surrender the most yards and 2nd most points of any SEC team. That's it for Newsbreak on this Thursday. We do want to remind you to check out a couple of the podcasts we produce here at the Daily Journal. The Memo, all things Northeast Mississippi news and entertainment with myself and W. Derek Russell. Be sure to check out Wednesday's episode, in which we had a musical guest, the Lark and the Loon, perform on the program. So you want to check that out in iTunes, your podcast apps, or at memo.djournal.com. And Ole Miss and Mississippi State sports fans, be sure to check out Double Coverage, new episodes every Thursday with Parrish Alford and Logan Lowry, and you can listen to that in iTunes, your podcast apps, or at doublecoverage.djournal.com. All the stories I talked about today you can find in your Daily Journal and at djournal.com. Follow us on Twitter at djournalnow. Give our Facebook page a like as well. And that's it for this Thursday on Newsbreak. I'm Brad Locke. We'll see you next time.